Trying to be the mom you wish you had is so much easier said than done. Hey girl, welcome back. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Mashla. I am a mom of 4 with 2 under 2. And I just come on here to share my experience with how I mother my children. And if you can find some gems out of that, then girl, go ahead and take them. Just don't leave without subscribing and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Listen, motherhood is the most tedious job anybody could ever sign up for, because the amount of dedication you must have to paying attention to every bit of move that your child does, every laugh, every cough, every hiccup, every cry, it takes something out of you that can't ever be replaced. It's so easy to get lost here. I've been struggling with just showing up. Like, mom guilt out this world. I feel like I'm not showing up the way that I want to show up for my children. And honestly, I don't have it in me. This postpartum season felt like a doggone run-on sentence, because with 2 back-to-back pregnancies, I never got a break in between. I was in one postpartum season and then 4 months later get pregnant again, and then ended up or just kept on going with my postpartum. I never had time to really rest and reset before hopping back into the trenches of having a newborn baby again. I feel like I've been fighting just to stay consciously aware of everything happening around me and not get numb with being in the moment. Never have I ever experienced such mental fatigue. To me, I don't even think it's a physical. I think it's a mental. Like when your mind is mentally exhausted, it's shutting down. And all it's doing is doing everything in its power to keep you alive. So you have now checked into survival mode. And some days I can see why it was hard for even my own mom. I could see why she wasn't as present as I would have wanted her to be, because it takes a lot. Like, especially when you are dealing with your own traumas and then boom, you're pregnant. Now you have to be responsible for a whole nother life while you're still trying to navigate through yours, while you're still trying to make sense of your life. You know, it's not easy. That's why having a plan for life after birth is essential. It's not always about, the diaper bag or the maternity shoots. It's who are you going to be when this child comes? Because trust and believe, this little human being will trigger every parts of you that you thought was healed, okay? And will potentially awaken parts of you that lie dormant until you had a mirror in front of you, aka your child, reflecting back to you certain things that you didn't even know that you had in you. And I honestly feel like this is where the line gets very blurred and where generational traumas continue, especially when you do end up parenting in your default setting the way you were parented. As a mom, there should be a lot of self-check-ins to make sure that you are regulating and you are staying the course. I grew up with a more emotionally absent mom. She was a bit more on the aggressive side. And again, I might not have context for it back when I was a child, but now that I do, I completely understand. Like, she was dealing with a lot of childhood trauma herself, that it was hard for her to be present. She was still trying to pull herself out the rubble of her own life. And no, I'm not excusing her or any mother who chooses to have children and not work on themselves first before parenting another human being. But what I am bringing to light is the fact that it is hard. And if you are not intentional about who you want to be, if you're not intentional about being a mom, like, you can have children all day long, but it does not really make you a mother. If your emotional traumas come before your children, that's a problem. And I feel like the postpartum season is a time where you can prioritize your emotions over the needs of your children, causing you to be a physically absent parent. And although it just starts off as you just trying to check in with yourself, you just trying to advocate for yourself, it can absolutely linger into a behavior that causes trauma in your children. Now, does this mean we will never make mistakes? No, it doesn't. But our children are not looking for perfect moms. They're just looking for moms that are present, that are in the moment with them, that are attentive and loving and kind and serving. I look forward to becoming this version of myself just for my daughter. She is my only girl, and if I can discipline myself enough and prioritize showing up and doing the things that I say that I'm going to do, then I am literally giving her a head start. I am literally laying down the foundation of which she can pull from when it's time for her to be on her own mothering journey. So those days when I get up and I want to procrastinate and I want to make excuses and I'm just like, no, this is not for you. Like, this is bigger than your feelings. This is bigger than this moment. Like, your children have to see a version of you that is healthy, that is foundational, in order for them to thrive in their lives as adults. So if you're thinking about coming into motherhood or is in motherhood and had a completely different mindset about what it meant to be a mom, this is your sign to seek therapy. Because, baby, if you're trying to be an ounce of a good mother, it is going to take everything in you and then some. Because children cannot be factory reset. Like, whatever you put in them is what they will take. So you just want to make sure that you actually trying to get it right the first time around.